All right, and welcome to the Freedom Rally, Canada. We're not allowed to protest anymore, so this is just a rally. Good to see you all. I don't know if, let me check the volumes off here. Okay, we're good. Hopefully, my voice will be all right. Somebody can sound off. Wait for people to roll in. Got some exciting news. Of course, the Freedom Rally. I don't know where this is. I believe it's in Toronto. Hi, Scotty boy. Good to see you. Trudeau must go. Yes, that's the sentiment across Canada. Um, it was the sentiment of the last election with under 30% of the voters. He had to rely on a coalition government between him and another party to remain in power. Volume is good? Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, we've got some amazing results of EMF protection devices. We've got the Freedom Rally. And of course, more chat. If people want to come up and talk about stuff that's on their mind. For me, this is pretty important. Freedom Rally. Let's see. I don't know where we are. Could be Toronto. Could be almost any city in Canada. Hopefully, they are going along across Canada. And this is a good thing. People seem to wait for good weather to go and rally because we don't protest, we just rally. uh, People seem to wait for good weather to go and rally. Not in Canada. It's dead of winter. We're going to have a freedom rally. That's the idea in Canada. So kind of a reverse thinking, which is good. Because if they're planning, they have plans to take care of us in the spring and summer. Nice weather. You can haul out all your nice troops and beat down people. But in the winter, it's not so easy to get people to want to stand out there. But Canadians, we're all right with it. You put on your snow pants, you put on a couple of pair of socks, and your nice down coat, and away you go. Pretty sparse on the viewers at the moment. We'll have to give it a while. Uh, Let me give the invite here for anyone that wants to come up. You want to come up, Scotty? Have a chat? Talk about rallies? They're not protests, Scotty. They're rallies. Canadians don't protest anymore. We just rally. Let me pin that. We're also simulcasting to Twitch or Twitter, X, I think it's called. Yeah. Let's see, pin that message. There was an option through StreamYard to create an account. It should work. This is to restream, but it should StreamYard and other platforms as well. So we may get some extra people here from Twitter. I don't know. In America, well, we're fair weather ralliers. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cold out there today. So I don't know how well they're doing. Again, we're just waiting for more people to come in because I do have exciting news. Lots of it, actually. I'm amazed at my own brain in a way. Very happy with it. This does look like Toronto. I'm going to keep silent for a moment, and we'll play a little bit of this. X is Twitter, yeah. Can't hear anything. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, that's why.
Our country! Our country! Our solar system! Our solar system! Our universe!
Frightening, I know, right? Run for parliament, damn! I might be part of the issue if I did, right? I don't know if there's any. I guess there are some straight politicians, but man, it's a tough thing to get into, right? So.
Pretty upset, and they should be. This is the amount of enthusiasm that people should have worldwide. And it's not just Trudeau must go. We know who's behind Trudeau. And that's really what these people's sentiments are. They may or may not know it. Yes and no, Trey. I would say yes and no to that. Do you feel rallying helps? Hints of Vietnam. Why, brother, why? Chromosome no Xing crossing. Christ crossed. Chromosomes won't be man, no woman. In my opinion, Trey, protesting, it's a double-edged sword, really. You get yourself identified. Getting the word out there is kind of important. People need to be able to see that they own the streets. They own everything, right? This is all ours. This is not. Yeah, there we go. That's a beautiful one there. Stop 15-minute CDs. Stop sexualization of children. These people are getting it. And there are people sitting out there who aren't feeling like they can make a difference, feeling like they're, alone in their thoughts. And this shows them that maybe they're not, that their thoughts of what's going on around us being wrong is not wrong. It's like when somebody stands up and says, stop abusing me, you're abusing us. And everybody has been beaten down for so long that we get used to the abuse. We get taxed constantly, constant fees on everything. They devalue our dollar by making more money. Unless we have a reservation. Reservation or revolution? Hi, Pamela Jean. Good to see you. But people need to see these things. And really, you're not reaching the people online like us. You're reaching maybe people who don't go online, don't watch TV, don't do anything. Maybe they watch TV and they think that these people are idiots. But they might look into it, right? Better day. Glad you're doing well, Pamela Jean. You're welcome, Pamela Jean. So we'll come back to this in a bit. I'm going to go talk about something else that I'm pretty proud of. It's good to take some pride every once in a while. It's good for the ego, good for the body. Feel pride in yourself. You should, really. A lot of people do have trouble with ego. A lot of people have trouble with an overinflated ego, which isn't the same. It's not the same. An overinflated ego doesn't benefit you like the benefit of pride from someone with a balanced ego. Someone with a balanced ego, when they feel pride or they're shown somebody shares pride in them, it's a chemical, emotional and chemical response that actually heals the body. For ones with overinflated egos, that's more of a dominance thing. And that doesn't really benefit them. In fact, it may make them sicker. I don't know. Email protection? Yeah, I'd like some email protection. Spammers everywhere. Let me pull up a new tab here. Oh, we got some extra emails. We got some from Beloved there. And Julianne Payne. Sure prize winning. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. So we're in viewer mail here. Oh. Okay. Let's share this. So this is a communication. There we go. Between me and G sharp. Give me 1 second here. Gonna scarf down a donut. I think it is, Scotty boy. I don't see you out there trying to dominate people. All right? You're quite comfortable with who you are. Very comfortable. Some might say a little too comfortable with who you are. With your pants and all. But, you know. Okay. So, G Sharp, I sent her one of the copper headsets that I have created to help with the effects of EMF radiation. And show you the device for those of you who are unfamiliar. This device was created for the treatment of Havana syndrome. Okay. Yeah, Scotty is cool. He's not a dominator. Okay. So that just sits over your head, and these rings cover your temple. They're grounded because they're on a battery. It's connected to the negative pole of a battery. Oh, where did I put my glasses there? And G Sharp asked to have a set sent to her. Let's look at the interaction here. So just received the package. What battery do I need? Excited to try it out on Wednesday, October 25th. Then we have, so I sent her the images of the battery. She was able to obtain it. So here was her experience. I have to tell you, wow, I have a few health issues, and one of them causes me to have headaches And I'm in an episode right now. The headaches have been coming and going for the last 3 days. I normally take a couple of baby aspirin for relief with my Canapuff remedy. I received the batteries yesterday, but I didn't put them into the copper headset until this morning. I put it on, and within a few minutes, my headache went away. Wore it for about 2 hours. Disconnected the battery, the negative coil, to save the life. We'll get on a stream soon to discuss the device. If you don't see me, it's my health keeping me from YouTube. I wrote back, that's so awesome. Happy to hear that, Mr. Company. I hope you feel better soon. I found the battery lasting for a longer time than I thought. See you soon. So a 3-day headache, poof, gone within minutes. So those are the kind of results that I want to see. Even the ocean, she wore a pair of metal glasses, and we discussed grounding those, and she had a button battery, which I do use to ground, those small button batteries. She put it on her glasses, attached it there, felt a slight decrease of pressure in her eyes. Yeah, that's quite compelling evidence there. I don't know if I call it proof at this point, because I've repeated these results with the negative poles of batteries many times with many people. 1717, that's an interesting number. Just came up. So yeah, that was a very happy result for me. I had confidence in the device to fix problems, but coming across the problems can be difficult for people. We don't often think of these things when we're experiencing the problems. As you can see, G didn't. She didn't think of it until it was, I guess, imminent to her, or important enough, and willing to take the chance to see if it worked. Because a lot of people, when they're experiencing headaches, you're not thinking. You don't have the opportunity to think. You're too busy, doubled over in pain, trying to take care of that. And I've experienced that. That's why I'm so happy about this device, because I have toothaches. My wife as well. We don't have rotten teeth. It's not what it is. It's electricity attacking teeth. It moves them too. Some of them have fallen right out, and I'm hoping that this device is going to discontinue that process. It's not painful to have them fall out, but it's damn uncomfortable. It is painful as they are wiggling their way out, though, because the electricity seems to be detaching them from my skull, which is, as you can imagine, very painful. So let's go back to the rally, and hopefully somebody wants to come up and chat. Oh, okay, this is in Toronto. Sorry, this is in Toronto, Ontario. So freedom rally, we don't protest anymore. Remember that. That's an important distinction. We do not protest. We rally. Yep, no more damn pills. Pain pills are horrible on your system, your liver, your stomach. Having that running through you isn't really a great thing. Yeah. So that's what I've got, guys. That's my amazing story. Yeah, the big rainbow, nice. Mm-hmm. Right, Pamela Jean, it gets rid of the ones attacking you. We can't, they've set it up so that we can't ground. If we were able to ground, we'd be able to not have many of these effects on our body. I not know. Good to see you. I will reread G's experience with the copper headset again for people as they come in. Very exciting news for me. Those of you experiencing problems, give me a contact and we'll work on hooking you up with one. Personally, I think that everybody should probably be wearing them on a constant basis or some type of grounding device. Hey, little bunny foo-foo. Good to see you. So that was my interpretation of it, is that we're under a constant barrage of attack. Well, wonder why they're so patriotic of the flag. Isn't that who they're rallying against? I do not like my government, but I do love my country. I was always Canadians were actually take a lot of pride in who we are. There's a lot of good stuff that Canada has done, and a lot of bad stuff, unfortunately, in secret. But the face of Canada and the face of Canadians coming to aid people is world renowned, as far as I've understood it. Like during the world wars, the as the cities were being liberated, all the townspeople would be liberated by Americans, but they ended up being, I'm sorry, very mean and to the inhabitants, and they were hoping that the Canadians would come by and help, because the Canadians had a much better, softer way of dealing with people, more empathetic, less militaristic. I think that had to do with the training of the U.S. military. It could be just a mindset, but they were much happier under Canadian protection, I guess you'd call it. Let's see. Oops. So do Mary Kays. I don't understand. Men's flags, pledges allegiance. Yeah. Canada's a beautiful country. And each country does have its own mindset. Used to, anyways, before they flooded us with people. But yeah, we had a pretty good mindset here in Canada. Of fairness, of treatment of human beings as equals, no matter where they're from, who they are. Yeah, our leaders all over are letting us down, unfortunately. Hey, Elderberry, good to see you. Yeah, Canada is under the crown. They claim to the people that we're independent, but we know better. Our Prime Minister pledges allegiance to the Queen, at the time, the Queen. Now they'd pledge allegiance to the King. We're still pretty much owned and operated and controlled by the Crown. This is a freedom rally. It's not a protest. Just got to make that clear. It's not a protest. to rally for freedom in Toronto, Canada. We're taking back the streets in Canada. They threw us in jail, threw many in jail for protesting in Ottawa before. But we can take the regular streets back. We can take everywhere else back. That's what these people are doing. They're showing that they own Canada, not the government. Trudeau is a public servant. He's not a dictator, although he wants to be. Well, British invasion, yeah. The Beatles. Beazle? We're Beazle? Beelzebub? Just saw a Canadian neighbor has arrived. Our city is full of snowbirds. Nice. Ed Sullivan reruns. So again, guys, any of you experiencing symptoms, headaches, toothaches, eye aches, earaches, I don't know what, see, I'm looking for different symptoms too. So you're part of those of you who engage in this. Can be part of the experiment. I have to tell you, wow, I've had a few health issues. One of them causes me to have headaches. I'm in an episode right now. The headaches have been coming and going for the last 3 days. I normally take a couple of baby aspirin for relief with my Canapuff remedy. Received the batteries yesterday, but I didn't put them into the copper headset until this morning. Put it on, and within a few minutes, my headache went away. Wore it for a few hours, disconnected it to save the battery, and put it away. So, amazing effects. Those of you experience even a regular headache. I don't know about tinnitus. There's many things that could be aided, and I'd like to find out what they are. Ringing in the ears, tinnitus, voices. What about epilepsy? I don't know. Wonder what blue heron tastes like. Oh, a blue heron. All I can see is a blue heron that's trying to eat my fish. Awesome. Huh. You're sharing your lunch, are you? With a blue heron. It's nice. Let's see what you're saying there, Pamela Jean. I worked with copper all my life, working for the Bell system. Copper works, I believe what John is talking about works. Thank you. Yeah, there was, let me see, I'm going to share something else with you. Give me a moment to find it. It was another post from a friend about copper. I haven't tried this yet, but I think I'm going to. Let's see here. Give me a moment. Okay. Wearing copper. There it is. Wearing copper to combat illness. Okay. This is very short. We can all do this. This will be easy to do. I've been meaning to share this for a little while. Now's the appropriate time. Okay. It takes a moment to share things on this platform. It's a little slower than StreamYard. I think that's purposely done. Used to swallow pennies. I don't know if that's good for you, but let's pull it back to the beginning. It's a very short video. Let's check the volume. And I'll have to be silent for this.
All these things about how you have your oscillating circuits. See those on your body? Your whole body is one big electrical crystal, or one big circuit. And when you place copper around these selected areas, you enhance that circuit line. And if your cells are not spinning correctly, or improperly the wrong direction, you result in illness. If your cells are corrected and spinning back the opposite way, you no longer have illness. So as you can see right here, wrapping the body with copper in these different areas can help the meridian lines and the conductive pathways of your body. And this is all very cheap to do. This probably costs you 20 bucks. That's it.
Let's see if we were sharing. I think we were sharing that. Yeah, okay. Obama. Who's Obama? Okay. I worked in the copper coil and the landline phone for a long time in Indianapolis. Okay. Yeah, you get a lot of copper into you if you're handling copper. You made me think somebody came in there, Trey. Oh, Alabama. Yeah. Good men? God men. Yeah, that's working with copper. I got a bunch of copper. Bell Labs on the picture phone for a few weeks. Wow, cool. I love this guy. His info, he puts it out a lot on TikTok. Oh, does he? Okay. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. Again, the link's up there if anybody wants to hop in and have a chat. I'm just going to keep repeating myself. There's a lot of noise going on in my ear at the moment. I don't know. Something happening in my head. So that was kind of cool. Let's see, what else was there? I think that was it for copper research. Oh, yeah. We had a bunch of other emails. Now, I'll show you this. A lot of people are talking about trees. Here's some interesting images. Many of these look like Photoshop, but there may be a few that aren't. Let's see.
Say there are
I
not
thought these were some
a
cool
few
images.
of these giant trees. The rims are everywhere. Our eyes able to see small glimpses of what was. But the more your eyes open, the more you realize that these ancient trees were everywhere. You see, we have been told to dismiss what our eyes have told us for so long. Erasing all truths of the old world is a vast and extensive lie. Branch off into all facets of our life. The lies are numerous, and the reason for it is quite simple. Those unaware of their true past, of their true capabilities and origins, are all that much more easier to control. It's not just about giant trees. Though the giant trees for me and many others were a big eye-opener to the true beauty of this world, to what's worth uncovering, and how much of it is hidden in plain sight for us to find. They want us thinking we're just hurtling around on a spinning rock in vast sea of nothingness, and we're just lumps of cells that don't matter, and all that around us is just rock. But trust me, friends, once you start opening your eyes to the true beauty of this realm.
So some really good images, I thought. I think some of them are Photoshopped, but some of them might be real. Up to you to decide. We've got some other viewer mail. People like the trees. I'm personally not on board with a lot of them, but some of them, I think, legitimate. Bug rocks. I'd like to answer that, Elderberry. I wonder if you ground yourself like we do electric equipment, if it would increase healing. I believe so, Elderberry. What I'm doing with this device that I've invented is I am grounding. The negative pole of a battery in an isolated area where grounding is not available for machinery. You can ground machinery by putting the ground to the negative pole of the battery. So that's exactly what I'm doing, is grounding us out very much like machinery, because we walk on pavement. We wear shoes, socks that separate us from the ground constantly, and there's almost no way to get away from it. But these people on screen, if they were wearing no shoes, they still wouldn't be grounded because they're on pavement. Most of us live in a concrete jungle. Now, there may be a few of us that live in small villages with little footpaths between houses or something, but I suspect that that's very few of us. Hi, So. Good to see you. There's a link up there if you want to come up and chat. Any subject is open. We have some amazing results from an EMF protection device that I've created. We have the Freedom Rally going on in Toronto, Canada. Again, we don't protest. This is not a protest. Yeah, earthing. Earthing can only usually be done by people for a short period of time. And that's really very insufficient. We need to be grounding on a 24/7 basis. You can buy devices to put in your house, grounding mats. You can buy grounded sheets. You can buy, hold on, wifey came home. You can get various devices for grounding that you hook into the ground in your apartment, house, whatever. I live in an apartment, and I even bought a ground fault checker um, to see if I had any of my electrical sockets that weren't grounded. And yeah, we don't give medical advice. I found that none of them were grounded. Zero. Zero. So I have no way of grounding other than the devices, and I'm going to find one because I need one at the moment. And I'll show you what other devices I have made. Hold on. Creating your own, yeah. So this is the headset designed on the information I received about Havana syndrome. Okay, and that just sits on your head, just like that. I have two on now. Uh, this is a device that loops over your belt. These things are easy to make, guys. You can do that yourself. All you do is cover up the positive pole of a battery with tape, wrap a wire around the negative pole, loop it so it goes under the battery, back up, then make a loop for putting it on your belt loop over your pants. Also, you can do the same process and create with around a 2-foot, 28-inch thing. You can make a device to go around your neck and be grounded. There's those that small TikTok video we watched about the grounding around the knees, waist, and elbows. It's pretty fashionable to boot, yeah. So yeah, there's lots of ways to ground yourself, and we do need more of it. Um, they're pumping out more electricity now than ever before, and it has an effect on human biology. That's completely proven. You can check up on, in America, what's called PubMed. That's what the doctors, nurses, and the medical community uses in the U.S. For information and studies. And it's well proven, from diabetes to, yes, Pamela Jean, we can hook you up with one. I am beginning a process of making them so that I can distribute these. I have all the wire cut up and ready. The only difficult part with these is getting the connection to the negative pole. It's a little difficult, so it requires a little help. So there's the battery, just goes in there. And then just like that, you're connected to the negative pole. And you put a little piece of tape over that side to make sure that the connection stays. And you wrap it around and make a couple of loops. And Bob's your uncle. So You have my email, don't you, Pamela Jean? I should get one for just Max Vision. Here, let me put it in. Okay. Yeah, we'll get that all hooked up for you. A small price for the thing and whatever shipping, just to get it out there. I don't know how to get payment for anything, so we'll have to figure that out. But whatever, we'll figure something out, Pamela Jean. And for anybody else, there's my email. You can email me, and we'll figure something out. A little heat shrink tubing would hold it in place as well. Yeah. Thanks, little bunny. So again, we're going to stick around and talk about this for a while, and more grounding and freedom rallies. I'm happy about this. Oh, looks like that lady's being chased. Run, lady, run. Is it like a Forrest Gump situation? Media is the virus. Yeah. Agenda 21. See, they're getting the word out there. This is really great. This is not hiding behind, we're mad about the government. There's Agenda 21. That's nice. These people are getting it. Look at this guy. I don't know what that is on the back of his car. That's really awesome. Okay, let's go back and check the viewer mail here. Okay, what is... Ooh, interesting. So, sent to us by Beloved. Check out this for porn video or something. Okay. The philosophy of the new biology clinic. Let's see what that's about. Takes these screens quite a while to change over. My son and me were talking on the phone about setting up a trust. I went on Facebook the next day and found information for a trust. They listened to our phones. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's Agenda 2030 right now. The philosophy of the new biology. New biology. I don't want new biology. I'm happy with what I've got. Let's see if we're sharing. We're not. There we go.
Is Wednesday, November 15th, 2023, and welcome to another Wednesday webinar And
Okay.
glad everybody could join me today. So today, because we've got a lot of questions, interest in our new philosophy we're offering, and I guess you could say the purpose of this. So that's what I'm going to do today.
Right, Pamela Jean, we do need a lot more awake ones.
See what we get here.
And that's why I'm happy
So
about the Freedom Rally.
I'm the philosophical founder of the New Biology Clinic. In other words, while I wouldn't say that the clinic itself was my idea, we would be treated by the practitioners at the New Biology Clinic. That's essentially the question I'm going to try to answer today. Some of this may be rehashing things that you've heard, but at least it'll be in one place now. So I grew up in a fairly conventional middle-class sort of family. My father and grandfather were downtown Detroit, and so on. There was probably 7 or 10 different doctors who were in my family circle, not my direct family, but my parents' friend circle. So I was very familiar with doctors, grew up around doctors. My father and grandfather were dentists, and I basically didn't really want to have anything to do with it. I don't know what I was sensing, but I didn't like to go to the doctor, and there's something about it that just did not make any sense to me, and I obviously couldn't put my finger on it. So I just kind of ignored the whole thing, and then went off to college at Duke and was essentially very disappointed in the whole thing. And as a result of that, what I thought was a very anti-intellectual environment, especially compared to my school, and so I sort of wanted nothing to do with it. So I got out in 3 years just so I could get out. And then I had no idea what to do with myself, so I joined the Peace Corps and taught gardening in Southern Africa, actually Swaziland. And by some interesting, quote, coincidence, while I was in Swaziland, I met the work of Weston Price. I was given a book at a little workshop I went to, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration. And I was also given some books by I was in a secondary school in Swaziland, wondering what to do after that was over. And I started reading these books, and it hit me then very clearly that the kind of doctor that I didn't want to be was not the only kind of doctor was. I obviously at the time didn't know if these diet approaches or other approaches to medicine were correct, but what was relevant to me was I didn't know there was any other way to be a doctor, and so that was very clear to me. There was a diet way, and there was whole different kinds of medicine, homeopathy and herbs, and looking at why people get sick and what might be better. And that was sort of like a light went off inside me, and I would say we're talking the late 1970s. Pretty much from that on, I would say pretty much every day since then, I've looked into part of something to do with science, medicine, or biology. Probably not every day, but pretty much most days. So then it became clear that since there was a different way to be a doctor, I in fact could go to medical school. And so
Max is on my list. Okay.
And both times I knew I would
Gotta go.
doctor. I knew I
Okay.
was going to,
Hope to hear from you, Pamela.
with college, I was going to get out of there
All
to
hail
have a
the
license
tail.
because I had the feeling like what I was learning there was going to have little to do with the way I was going to practice medicine. The first thing I want to point out, and at that time, I was very into diet, and that's
If somebody doesn't hit that link, we got about another 7
studying
minutes.
macrobiotics. I went to Boston to study with Shokushi, and I knew a lot about natural
gonna cut
farming,
it off.
having taught gardening.
Hi,
I
Max.
know a lot, but I was looking into it and different ways of healing with food and herbs and plant extracts, things like that.
Good to see you.
The first thing I want to point out is that when I was in medical school, we had a class. It was Michigan State College of Human Medicine. We had a class on how to interview, and I wasn't by any means the top student in my class. I didn't really want to be or care to be, but I was the poster child for how to do an interview, and I had not been taught any of
playing your video.
this. But for some
You
reason,
didn't even have
when I
the
was doing
courtesy to
interviews
show
on
up.
either mock patients or on patients in the clinics or whatever, I developed a strategy of asking very detailed questions to my
He's not
patients
talking that
about how they lived. Now, in particular, it was about diet, and so people would come in. They could have a rash, they could have cancer, heart disease, didn't matter.
There.
I asked everybody. This was unusual at the time, even for a kind of quote.
Oh man, now it sounds like he's just like dragging on.
But so what do you eat and what?
I'm used to listing things in
how do
double
you?
time.
It seemed to me that if I was going to help them, I needed to know how they were living and how they were eating. I don't know why I decided to think like that, but
often as I
it seemed to be only reasonable for me. And so people would say things like, well, I have a good diet. And I remember thinking to myself, I'll be the judge of that.
And some
And so
things I don't get to right
learned how to
away.
ask questions, which was walk me through exactly what you eat in a day. Just like I could walk you through exactly what I ate for breakfast, even where the grains came from that I ground and made into bread, and where the eggs, and where the vegetables, and where the miso came from, and who made the soup broth, and all these things. I can walk you through
She
all
does
that.
have a forehead for days.
And what was interesting
Hey,
is most people
Nocturnal
didn't know what
Frequency
they
Radio.
ate, especially the men,
Good to
but
see ya.
even women and children, of
The link
course.
there if you want to hop up and chat.
And
It's an open chat
they
about
couldn't
anything.
really walk me through what they did, how they
Quite a
moved,
few
and what they
subjects
thought
on the
about
go.
in a day. And so I was very specific questions. It was also interesting to me that when I started practicing, I would often hear, because I, at the time, in a way, believed that if somebody had a really good diet, the perfect diet, what I was trying to do for myself, which is different than
They forget
the,
about
quote, perfect
external
diet that I think
factors
now,
that they can't
but
control,
that they
like
wouldn't be sick.
radiation.
So people came in and say, "Oh, I have a really good diet,"
chemtrails,
and then when I was practicing,
ELFs.
I ended up doing house calls, and one of the first things I do is go and open their
There are
freezer
many
and refrigerator and their
transmissions that can
cupboards.
affect us.
And to my shock, the people who said they had a really good diet, 3/4 of the things in their refrigerator or cupboards were things that I would never eat. So all this taught me that the devil was in the details, or as I would put it now, the real information is in.
Yeah, he's supporting eating whole foods, like knowing where your food comes from, knowing the source. All of that's really good stuff. But that alone will help and increase your health to a great extent, and help mitigate some of the other factors impacting us. Not the cure alone, but it's part of the course.
It's the story of a person's life, but in particular, what do they do? What do they think? How do they feel? And I learned to not accept generalities like I have a good diet, or I get a lot of exercise, or I have positive thoughts, or whatever it is. Those don't mean anything. I want to know the brands and who made the food, and what did you actually do for movement today. And so I got started on this, and that continued into my practice. Eventually, I did some family practice residency and then started my own practice. And it was all based on hearing these people's stories, getting the details, and then working with what I heard in the best way I knew how. This got refined when I heard about nonviolent communication. This was partly through my wife's doing, who brought me to a workshop. And at that point, it became clear to me that that similar to what they say in NVC, which people's issues are based on or founded or grounded in them doing the best they can to meet their needs at the time. And I may have been the first one, or I don't know about that, to translate this into medicine and say that the symptoms we have, and even eventually the diseases we have, like high blood pressure or sinus quote infection, or whatever it is that you have, and I mean whatever it is that you have, were the equivalent. They were your body's attempt to satisfy the situation or its needs in the best way it could, given the situation that it had. So I've been over this many times. High blood pressure comes when the movement of the blood is weak, and so the body responds.
See now,
By
oh, there we go. He has symptoms of EMF radiation. I can see right now. If you look at his teeth, and this is common amongst a lot of people, and I know what it is now. At least I believe I do. Teeth can be raised and moved, and they often are, by EMF radiation. A lot of people have gone in, many people that I know, for gum surgery, to have their gums pulled across their teeth, pieces cut out, and new pieces installed in their teeth. And it's not because of bad oral care, in my opinion. I think it's because the teeth are actually moving. Ow. And I don't know, I believe that this headset might have a good effect on that too. Let's continue.
doing the best it can, which is to narrow the tubes low. Now, we had a disease, blood pressure, and it does have negative repercussions. That's really still, it's the best you do at a time, given the fact that you have weak
Right?
flow. If you don't want to clamp your
Cause to
blood
think.
vessels, then you have to restore the flow, and then the body will naturally open the vessels, and the blood pressure will go away. The high blood pressure will go away, and that's exactly how I started doing medicine. I started to see everything as not specific diseases, but as individual stories and the reaction of the body to create the best situation it could,
Yeah,
giving the
that's the
situation
problem, eh?
you present it to. So if you keep injecting poisons
I
in your
don't
body,
think that's
they'll keep getting
due
we
to
call
bad
colds
oral care,
or flus or pneumonia or bronchitis or sinusitis.
right?
None of that has anything to do with bacteria or virus. It has to do with your body's assessing the situation. We put poison in, we have to get it out. The mechanism of getting it out is through creating mucus and cough and snot and all the rest of it. And unfortunately, we call that disease. And treat the symptoms, actually the body's attempt to heal, and not the real problem, which is you stop injecting poisons into you, you stop having to get stuff out of your body, and then the quote infections or sinus trouble or coughing goes away. And so as time went on, I refined this. I refined how I would get the story. I started
Yeah, gums
technique of
receding, yeah.
telling the story back
Receding gums,
so
I
that they
think,
would
is a
know that I
symptom of
heard them,
EMF
that they would have a
radiation.
chance to correct me, and I would get the story exactly right. And also to give the person the chance to hear their story essentially translated to them from somebody else. And inevitably, they would either laugh, cry, or say, "So you mean you think that this?"
See, I've been told that I don't floss nearly enough, okay? But right here, this is how much I floss 3 times, 4 times a day, sometimes more. Right beside my computer here, what do I have? A box of dental floss. Because I like having clean teeth. So, yeah. I don't believe that I'm bad at oral care. I believe that we've been attacked. Scotty left his dentures in his pants. Yeah. Tom Cowan. Okay. He's got some good stuff. I like the way he
Repeated
thinks.
sinus thing, quote, infection has to do with the fact that I injected poisons every year with my yearly flu shot, and that the fact that I got sick 2 weeks later. You think those?
Well, that we're going to have to forward a little bit.
Came to forgetting about diseases, whether it's Alzheimer's or ovarian cancer or sinus infection, but here individual story.
What's this gut's name?
Hear what happened, or get into a framework, tell the story back, and then have the experience and the knowledge and the expertise to say, given this story, here's how you would want to interface with this. If it's putting poisons in, you stop doing the injections, but then you may have to chelate or clear out the poisons that you already put in. If it's that your knee pain came after you did a year of a, say, vegan, i.e. no collagen diet, and then the tissues of your knee are breaking down, and that's the story of this person, you simply tell the person how to put back nutritive collagen like bone broth back into their diet, and then you would see if the situation would resolve. And so my job essentially was first to hear the story, put the story into a kind of framework, and then have a wide enough repertoire so no matter what the person said.
Thank you for that, James. That's I didn't know that. So torture from electricity torture pulls the gums from the teeth. My dentist treats immigrants who have been tortured. Thank you for that, James. I didn't know that. That'll be added to my little database there. Yeah, very interesting. He does, but removes them after the live streams. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd have to for the things he says. Every Wednesday? Okay. Let's see. Do you have his link to his, or is this his channel here? This is on Odyssey. This isn't on YouTube. I'll post the link. To this video. Yeah, see, I kind of have to do that too. Post these and then get rid of them.
Sometimes it was
YouTube does it for me pretty
sometimes it was
well,
digital,
but you know,
traumatic
I can get rid of them better, I think.
in fact, there's a lot of trauma-based
I think I've had 2
emotional
videos banned in the past,
pathology that you hear. There's a lot
at
of
least one in the past
nutritional
couple
deficiencies,
weeks.
people simply
It
eating
just
poor
took it
food,
away.
and people poisoning themselves in a variety of ways. People not getting in the sun, people not connecting to the earth, people not moving properly, people having family traumas. It could be any number of things. And my job was to hear that story, hear it as an individual situation, and then know how the person could interface with that story or refer them to somebody who could help them with, emotional traumas or nutritional deficiencies. I didn't usually have to refer that, or to give somebody an herb or a homeopathic medicine or chlorine dioxide or an energy solution, or sound healing, or whatever it was, to try to
And that's
remediate
cool.
that situation.
Yeah,
As time
YouTube
went on,
removes them
and
for me.
largely thanks to my patients saying, I tried low dose
He's really
naltrexone and
looking
that
at
worked for this, and I tried chlorine dioxide and that worked for this, and I would hear that over and over again, and then I had enough sense to look into it. Not that I necessarily believed that it worked, but I would look into it. I heard people.
Yeah, he's got enough of an open mind to look into things. That's really important, and that's not what we're seeing these days. Doctors don't want to look into things. They don't want to look into things that are different, unique, new, even old. A lot of these older therapies that are available, many of them probably have validity in some cases, especially a lot of the old, like he's using homeopathy treatments and such. Let's continue.
People saying that 2,4 biofield therapy help them with this or that.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
So I discarded that. But my job was to have the experience to know, given this situation, what might work for you. And so we would try it out and give it a certain time frame. Like if it was an acute situation, I might just give it an hour or a day. And if it was a less acute situation, I might give it a week or 2 weeks. People would report back. I would hear the story. And over time, 30 years of doing this, you develop a repertoire, or I developed a repertoire of what worked in what
Amazing,
situation.
James. Yeah.
And that became the way I did medicine. The only other thing that I'll say is, along the way, what was really crucial was the thing that I like to do the most, which was investigate the modern medicine, modern science, and modern biology, and see which of them are actually true. And so I started this with looking at whether the heart actually pumps the blood, and whether vaccines are even effective, and whether it has anything to do with genetics. And then I went on, as everybody knows, to looking at the claims that viruses exist, which they don't, and we have an immune system. And then all of this got accelerated with Harold Hillman, and thanks to my friendship with Stefan Lange and many others, I don't even want to hear, who really were able to demonstrate to me and teach me that what they
Going to forward a little bit because I think what he's about to say could be a problem.
And nerves, that the dopamine crosses, that I have serotonin receptors, all these things which turn out to be either irrelevant or don't even exist in the first place. You discard all that old biology, and again, you're left with this beautiful picture of what it is, which is essentially organized or coherent, or sometimes called structured water, with energy coming in, out, organizing water to make a missing living system, which is plants, animals, animals, and all the people in the world. And you interface with that, find out the story of which part of the system went wrong for you, and then you have a system of medicine. Meaning the last four are now working in the new biology clinic. Some of them I mentor directly. Others have been
it's
listening to me
411
and
here.
figuring
this is information
this out
for
alone.
us.
There's nothing particularly unique about my figuring it out for myself. This can easily be figured out by any well-meaning person who just opens the possibility to what's real. And so we started collecting these people, these doctors and other practitioners, into a kind of online, in the beginning, clinic, and that became the New Biology Clinic. And that's where we are today with 4 different doctors. There's Adam, who was trained as a anesthesiologist and pain specialist, and Rodney, who's trained as a neurologist, and Pam, who's trained as a psychiatrist, and Mark, who's trained as a family doctor in New Zealand. And then we have our enrichment services practitioners who do special things in addition to the general sort of medical staff, and that includes Pat, who does primal movement. I'm not sure if that's what he calls it, but how to move in a healthy way. And just today we added our second one, which is Tatiana, who is trained as a chiropractor and who does things like breath work and meditation and biofield tuning. And soon we're going to add Qigong practitioners and tapping to help with emotional freedom, and whatever we can find that will actually help people.
Now, there's a lot of wrist tapping that can help.
I want to try this with the specialist modern medical model that we're all so familiar with. In other words, the way the normal medical system works is you have a primary care doctor, a family doctor, and they do certain things, but if you have a real problem, you go to a specialist. So if you have a dermatologist, and you have a nervous system problem or MS or ALS, you go to a neurologist. If you need surgery for your gallbladder, they say you go to a surgeon. If you're emotional or psychologically not doing well, you go to a psychiatrist, and so on. And I think the best way I can describe the problem of this model is with an actual experience that I had with one of them. And mind you, I've had very few experiences with conventional medicine. Basically, the last time I went for a physical exam was to start my residency in 1984, and that was only because they made me. So actually haven't been back since, except for a few small procedures, which I don't need to get into. But so this was the story, and I want to preface this by saying we think, and I would say think may not be the right word, maybe the word is hope, that when we go to a specialist, and actually a friend of mine pointed this out, and I thought it was a great way to phrase this and word this. We hope for a certain level of sophistication from that specialist. And I think that's a great way to put it. In other words, you have a situation, you, the patient, that the family doctor with all their training and experience can't handle, so they send you to a dermatologist because this is a difficult skin problem, right? So you expect a level of expertise and experience, and I think it's a great word, sophistication about skin problems. So here's this happened with my son Asher. I don't remember exactly how old he was, maybe 14 or 15 or so. And I think we now think that it actually started after his mother actually got him to get some vaccines, which I would have never done. He did that. Then he's got this rash on his hands. And so at some point he asked me to take him to a dermatologist, which was fair enough. I mean, he wanted to see if this was really interfering with his life and with his playing basketball, and fair enough, a real specialist in some problems.
Much of this you have to
so I warned him
somewhere else.
And I remember this, that it may not be as rewarding as he thinks. But anyways, he wanted to go, and I could respect that. So I took him to this dermatologist in our town in New Hampshire where we lived. A nice gentleman. He was in his, I think, 50s. Seemed very pleasant and all. And so we walk in the room. I made it clear that this was Asher's appointment, not mine, and so I was going to keep myself out of it. So we go in the room, and he made some nice, friendly comments, and I think he knew that I was also a local doctor, so I said hello. then eventually he says, so, Asher, what's up? And Asher said, I have a rash on my hands. And so the fellow says, oh, can I see? Asher puts his hands up and he takes a look at his rash. Probably took him about 30 to 40 seconds. He said, oh, well, that's dyshydrotic eczema. And then he turned around and went to his chair and he wrote out a prescription for a very strong steroid cream. And he gave him a sheet for how to use this cream. And that was it. And it took all of about maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Two to three of the minutes were writing out the prescription and giving him the thing how to use it. And he expected that would be it. So the entire history was, I have a rash, and the entire physical exam was looking at his hands. And my guess is many of you can relate to this story. So I think he expected us to leave at that point. But I said, I intervened, even though I said I wasn't going to. And I said, Asher, you had some questions about the relation of this rash to diet, right? And Asher said, yeah, when I eat certain foods, I think maybe too much fruit, it seems to be worse. Do you have any, and you know anything about that or any thoughts about that? And the guy said, well,
doctors get, I think, a week at the most training in nutrition. So bear that in mind.
Say that nickel food makes this rash worse. I don't know if that's true, but it says along with the cream that we're giving you and see if that works. And that was truly it. Asher, I think, asked, is there anything else? And the guy said, no, there's nothing else. This is just, genetic. That's how it goes. And don't, the cream will work, but you have to use it properly. And that's the end of it. So that's, in a sense, our competitor. That's how they do medicine. And you can translate that to any situation, any neurologist, heart disease, just about any encounter with conventional specialists. That's what they do. They story for about a minute or 2 or 30 seconds. They do their tests. They do their treat based on the tests, and that's all. The level of sophistication of this encounter is about 0. So what do I mean by sophistication? One would expect or hope that this dermatologist has seen hundreds, maybe thousands of cases of skin rash, and that he has questioned these people intently. So he knows their habits, their diet, their stress level, whether they sleep well at night, whether there's toxic stuff in their living room, whether they've recently got any medicines or not, or vaccines, or what they're doing, or anything to do with their life that may impact whether they get this rash. The reality is, in none of these specialists do they do any of this sort of thing. And frankly, I think it's fair to say, absolutely nothing about any of these things. They only look at it. History means nothing to them. They make their diagnosis. They treat the diagnosis with what it says in the book, and that's the end of it. And one could even say, so what does a specialist do? So here's where it's very interesting.
Yeah, I've had doctors literally just, I tell them what's wrong with me. They look to check to make sure that is the case. Then they go right to the computer and start typing. And the cures are given to them that way. It is, I was thinking about that earlier today, that modern medicine is really a religion. They have their high priestesses, they have their book, and they have their followers, right? The high priest goes to the book to give the prescribed medication, a long-term medication in a hopeful case, because that's your alms, that's your offering, is purchasing these medications and taking the magic pill, right? For the rest of your life. So that way you constantly give your alms to the church of medicine.
Because that cream that Asher was given was a very potent steroid cream. And actually, the reality is that if you use it forbid you should use it more, you will absolutely get significant adrenal suppression and you'll suffer other kinds of consequences. These are not side effects. These are direct, predictable, natural, regular effects of using that medicine. Not only that, you can 100% predict that if you use that medicine and it works, that if you ever stop using that medicine, it will come back worse than ever had before, which is exactly what happened in this case, and is exactly what happens in almost every case. So by going to a specialist, all you're doing, as we said yesterday, is you get the quote strong stuff that the normal family doctors would say to themselves, oh, I'm not doing that stuff because that's dangerous. So they give you Embrel for your quote rheumatoid arthritis and fluoridated steroid creams, which are extremely and cause changes and adrenal suppression and all kinds of other.
Not medical advice, but I take silver for my arthritis. Silver and gold. It works pretty well for me.
Horrible effects. They're not side effects. So normal doctors are afraid to give those. It's not quote quality. And there's nothing about a specialist that qualifies you to give you some.
And there's a lady I know has severe arthritis. And what she does is she gets what are called gold shots. And it is literally gold that is injected into her veins. Micronized colloidal gold. So just an interesting
To give
one
their
there.
patients strong, toxic medicine. It's not like being a dermatologist makes that steroid cream any less profound. That's obviously ridiculous. It still has the same horrible effects on every single person who's given that medicine. It will cause other effects down the road in pretty much every single person who takes it, as do all the medicines that the specialists are giving people. The other thing they do is they do procedures like heart catheterizations or sticking needles in people's joints to aspirate the fluid, or doing biopsies of their skin, or taking stuff off their skin that the normal family doctors are not either trained or not willing to do. So that is the model in normal medicine. Now, you could say, so why do we have this array of specialist heart clinic? That I just on a story-based individual way of.
Sorry, I was saying, in the white papers we read, they will make them sick. They'll come to us for cures, and with the cures, we'll make them sick. That seems to be
hearing
the
a person's story, not so much just how can they interface and make this person's life better right now. What in this story seems to need help? But the real reason for quote specialists is not that to have somebody say you're only a nervous system, or you're only a skin, or you're only a heart, but to take this story-based approach, and yet this person has heard 100 or 1,000 stories of people with memory loss, or people who are complaining of, say, depression or anxiety or pain, whatever it is. I've heard this 100 times. I've questioned people 100 times with a similar story. I know what might work. And that is an extremely valuable
problem reaction
resource.
solution.
It's an extremely valuable skill, because really what we're offering, what a real doctor offers, is while you may have seen one person or 3 people in your life with a rash, hopefully we've seen 100. And so we have a wider range of what kind of story might lead to this, and what are the common threads of this story, and what intervention might help. And so that's why we are essentially putting together this wide array of practitioners, first actors, who have a wide range of experience, so that any story you throw at us, we've heard that before, and we've heard this story. We've heard other people. We've learned through experience
Oh,
what might help. What
just received something. We'll go back to this and back to the Freedom Rally. Just received some mail. They even mention about their rotting teeth. Where's that? The Illuminati doctrine. Yeah, exactly. This just came in. I hadn't looked at this before. Seems to be some type of a prediction. Let's see what we have here. Warning, realize, warning, warning. Donald Trump death to be announced. Let me see what this is about, if there's any more to that. No, just that. Okay, well, that's rather cryptic. Well, it is and it isn't, right? His death, no information. Nothing more. Interesting. Okay. Lambs, Uber. Okay. Oh, YouTube has removed your content. Thank you. On November 16th. When was that? The 12th? Thank you very much, YouTube. Skull in Chad. This was sent to us by Jill Ortiz. Let's take a look. Now, I like it. Let's see here. It's sharing. The rally is live, Scotty boy. I like it. It does look like a face. I have a different interpretation, but I do like it. I think it's an egg. I think that's a fetus that didn't make it. But I could be wrong. It could be a skull. I like how it's got like an eyeball looking dot right in the middle there. Looks like a giant ball. No, this was from James. Let's see if we can zoom in here. Cinder cone, they call it. Okay. That's really cool. That's a really cool one. It does look like a face, though. Let's see. Let us return for a few moments. Let's see where they are. Freedom Rally. I'll take a look. Yeah. Looks volcanic. Yeah. I find that eggs generally explode, apparently. I don't know why that is, but that seems to be what they do. At least in my... Now, people do believe in volcanoes, but most magma chambers they show us do not go or extend far into the earth. They do go far, but they stop. So that always makes me go, So this is supposed to be Worldwide Freedom Rally.
Guess that might be about it for now. Until the next time. So you know what? I might go live tomorrow, guys. For the Santa Claus parade. Might be a change up of things. I've never really filmed that
Greetings,
before.
Nina.
Maybe it'll be a good thing to try to film. I don't know. What the hell? It'll be obviously neutral, safe content for YouTube. I think it would be an issue filming that. But yeah, maybe I'll do it. Whatever. What the heck, right? Do that tomorrow afternoon or whatever. Maybe film that Yeah, might be a good little live to do. What the hell? We can try. Appreciate it. Yeah, you'll probably see tomorrow then. Down as I get my butt down here, I can do that for hours. It's only an hour and a half or 2-hour parade. So yeah, maybe I can do that and have a little chit chat. It might be fun. Whatever. We can try it out. Awesome, guys. Appreciate it. So yeah, let's end it. I appreciate everybody watching today. Thanks all the super chatters. Not necessary. Very much appreciate. Had a wonderful time, and thanks for following me on TikTok too. TikTok is Jeff Lepard. Unfortunately, I would use the form otherwise, but only because of the speeches, which of course I don't want to get shut down, and that'll take you guys away from the stream anymore. We got to be careful what we stream on the lovely liberal platform of YouTube, but it is what it is. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it so much.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys have been so amazing all day long. I mean, I know we've been hanging out all day, and you might be a little sick of us, but hey, thank you for coming. Come again.
Yep.
We can't wait to see you.
Come on down here, man. Every Saturday we're at Queen's Park, and yeah, if you ever can show up in person, that's the way to do it. Appreciate it, guys. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and stay tuned for tomorrow. I'll post the stream later for the Santa Claus Parade tomorrow. We'll be live early afternoon tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Cool stuff. So glad people are doing that. I started doing that at the beginning of 3 years ago. I started doing that, and ended up stopping because I got nobody doing it with me. So, but now there are people doing it. I'm happy to see that. Maybe I inspired a few people 3 years ago. I doubt it, but you never know. So yeah, again, copper headset. And James Ortiz backing us up with that it may have an effect, or that electricity has the effects that I believed it did through my own experience and observation. That I believe EMF radiation can have effect on teeth, causing them to move, causing gums to recede. I sent Copper's headset to G. She had a headache for 3 days. Here we go, the quote, put it on, and within a few minutes, my headache went away. So, yeah, we're getting really good results from that. Pamela Jean's says she wants to give one a try. Anyone with any ailments, teeth, headaches, etc., may be aided by grounding device created for Havana syndrome. So one of these, give me a contact. My email is, I think my email is in the description or the about of my channel. Let me check that. Hi, Seven Serpents. How you doing? Oh, so again, here's the email showing we received great results from it. A 3-day headache being dismantled in minutes, a couple minutes. My wife experiences tooth pain, we believe, from EMF radiation every once in a while. And she had the other day, and again, with grounding, she was freed of it within, for her, it's seconds. I think her body responds to it very quickly. Link up there if anybody wants to come up and chat. Be on for a little while longer. Yeah, so very impressive. Let me check over on my about to make sure. I don't know if I have my email in there, but I should. Let's see. Your channel. Community. Max. Hi. No, it doesn't appear like I have it. Okay, well, I'll have to fix that. I'll have to add the about thing to my channel and put out my email. So again, what was that? Seen Lucy Ball had a radio come in the fillings. Yeah, yeah. Well, James was just telling us about people who had experienced torture using electricity, how their gums will recede. And it's the same effect or the same result of electricity, I believe, just from a different source. So, in Havana syndrome, and a lot of people's symptoms and stuff seem to all radiate or start in the temple. Add links to the description, and I can add them to chat. Right now, I'm just going to give people my email so that they can get in contact with me to get you one of these devices. So that get people fixed up. Emmett's here now. We can talk about some serious matters. Torture can't be good for you. No. Add the links to the description. Which links, Nina? I don't know what you mean. Oh, okay. Is that what you mean? The Restream link? There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's my email right there. In the description of the video. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to do that. I can copy it and add it to chat when I am here. Okay. I remember that episode from Lucy. That's hilarious. Yeah, last night's show full of boobies, definitely. Yeah, so I think it is all a scam. I think the entire medical industry is put on us through the poisons they put in the air, water, food, the poisons they put into the air through the electricity, even through the ground, possibly through ELFs. Those have great effect on people. You'll pass on the torture? Yeah, you missed the boobs. Yeah. Yeah, we had, what's her name? I forget the name of the goddess. Yeah, but even those real rock stars now we look back on them, it's kind of jaded, you know? Knowing what you know about them, how they're manipulated, promoted for their ability to go along and, you know, promote the proper social engineering messages. Hits their temple sounds like the pineal gland colony of monks. Caucasians, no mountains. We're chakra teachers. Yeah. No. I actually put 2 of these on, and I actually like that sensation. It actually did cause a sensation. I'm wondering about the many horns now. Hi, Nina. Good to
Hey,
see you.
how's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What are we talking about tonight?
We're on Freedom Rally, Worldwide Freedom Rally,
Mm,
mainly in Canada at the moment. The amazing results of the EMF protection device that I made, and G received one and used one for a 3-day headache that was gotten rid of in minutes, a couple minutes.
awesome. Yeah, I was seeing that. That looks very cool.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get these out to people at a low cost. So you can contact me at my email and we'll figure something out.
Yeah, I was saying if you put your email and whatever other links in the description of the videos, then it's easy for us moderators just to go in there and grab it for you,
Mm-hmm.
put them in there.
Yeah. I like this comment. Sounds like the pineal gland colony of monks, Caucasians. Okay. But I wonder if it does attack the pineal. I'm not sure.
Is that the frequencies you're talking?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
because,
sure it does. I'm sure it does.
There's many effects we see. Like I've had many effects go away, like headaches, toothaches, eye aches, ear aches, using this type of a device. This thing I've only recently come up with, so I still have a lot of data to gather on it.
You know,
Time to shock.
I remember as a child, they used to give us chewable fluoride tablets.
Oh my God.
And they gave this to us after we had brushed our teeth, just before we went to bed.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you know, like we didn't have a fighting chance, you know, honestly. I don't even know how I made it through. Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, and fluoride, you know, is a waste product. Like they didn't know where to put this. Like apparently this was like some kind of waste. I can't remember from what, but it was a waste product from something. And they had so much of it. They didn't even know what to do with it. And this is what I've heard. Now, I don't know if this is 100% fact, but this is what I've heard. That apparently they made the decision, oh yeah, why don't we just let the humans filter it? So we'll just put it in the water supply and tell them it's good for your teeth, right? And whatever. And then we'll get rid of the waste product. The humans will just filter it right through their liver and everything. We'll just get them to filter it, get rid of it for us. And so that takes care of that. Plus it dumbs them down, you know, it's probably going to kill them early and all blah, blah, blah. Generally a good decision, they figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I heard it was one of the departments of public health in the U.S. that he was on the board of one of the companies that had this waste to deal with. So he made a deal with them that, hey, we'll take care of that. We'll put it in the water.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Unless the human filters out. Yeah, it's amazing what our body's able to go through, honestly. And when you think about the amount of poisons that we're filtering through every day, you know, our body's just so used to it. It doesn't even know what a normal, healthy situation would be like, you know?
Yeah. See, I wonder how intelligent people really are, because things like that, like fluoride can knock your intelligence down like 15 IQ points.
Right. So imagine how smart I could be, you know?
Yeah. You know, the EMF radiation interrupts short-term memory.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking of things, it interrupts.
Right.
If you're trying to put together long, complex thoughts, it can make it difficult. So you know that how many IQ points does that cause you to lose in a conversation or that, you know, say another 10, 20. So you're down 30 to 40 IQ points. So you're about 2/3 as smart as you could be. just on those two things.
Just on that alone. I know, right? That's just, it is really a crime of what's happened to
Yeah.
us. It really, really is.
Not to mention all the bullshit they taught us.
Yeah,
You know?
I know. And the traumas that they keep putting us through, which also sets us back with the IQ, right?
That does too, yes.
Right? We can never get out of that fight or flight mode, right? And, it's like that in the world, but sometimes for most of us at home too, like it's, you can't think straight when it's like that. And that's why they keep, pumping up the news and the this and the that, war, and then there's a plague, and then there's, like there's just one thing after another. I mean, they don't give us any breaks at all now. It's just, what do they call it? Polycrisis. That's the way they like it. Polycrisis.
Yes.
Never leave a good crisis go to waste. So, we must pile it on a little bit more, So people are just so, and most people I would say are, either smoking weed or taking some kind of pills or drinking alcohol or all the above, right? And that dumbs us down too, believe it or not, as much as we do.
Watching sports, entertainment,
Yeah.
all those things are designed to distract and dumb you down. Even back in Roman days when the people were going to revolt, what did you do? You threw a huge festival, got everybody drunk, and had some games to distract them.
Yeah, bread and circuses, right? And it actually looks, from the aerial view, it looks exactly the same. It's kind of funny in these memes, we're still doing it. Bread and circus, give them the hot dog and the beer and the game, and they're good. Yeah. Yeah, and then they're pumping in the 5G too, I've noticed, in those particular places, in those, so you got all of that going on too. Everybody's got a phone going. Can you imagine the frequencies in a place like that,
I would find it painful to be
You
there.
probably would,
I find it painful to be on public buses because of the number of a lot of people love those iPhones.
Yeah. Well, everybody has
12
one, right? Or some kind of phone.
is overpowered. Yeah.
Yeah.
The iPhone 12 is overpowered, and they've already come out with the iPhone 15, so it hasn't been tested at all.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Well, we are the test. Come on now.
Right? Yeah, we are the test. So.
Yeah. I know. I got notes all over the house to turn off the Wi-Fi. But now I've gotten so used to those notes, I don't notice those notes anymore now. So I keep forgetting to turn off the damn Wi-Fi. But yeah, at night, there's no reason why your router should be on. Like, turn the fucking thing off, right?
Yeah, I have mine wired to my computer, so that's all it gets used for. It's just hardwired to the computer.
Yeah, but it's still reaching out. If it's on, it's you can still use a device and log into it and stuff. It's wireless, So unless you actually turn it off, that thing is immediate.
Yeah, some of them come with a button you can turn off the wireless and just use the wire. So you can look for
I don't know if I can do that. I think mine's only got on or off. It's either on or off.
So you usually have more than 4 buttons, the ones that you can turn off.
I think mine's probably considered old now.
Okay.
A few years.
There are also Faraday cages you can purchase.
Yes.
To cut off the Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And just have it wired. So that's another option.
That's a good little business for those who are looking for little side hustles. Getting the fabric and then making Faraday cages. People are going to be buying those.
Yeah, I buy the pouches for my phone.
That's what I'm saying. That's the kind of stuff people are buying right now.
Yeah. And I always keep my phone in airplane mode. All I use my phone for, and I should change over to just a device. That way I wouldn't even have to take my phone with me. Just a device to download podcasts to, and then I can just leave the phone at home all the time.
You might as well just have a regular phone then.
Yeah.
Just have a landline, right? Yeah, if that's
Well,
it's nice to have for emergency. That's the only reason I have this.
There are things a phone can do that a computer can't.
Right.
Like I can't phone my daughter, you know. And landline, I don't know if they even there are landlines, but I think they're taking down that system.
It's not a bad thing to have. I used to when I was working in that. I always had the two lines. I kept, just
Yeah,
for the emergency. What if the cell tower is down? Well, hey, I still got my landline. Or if back in the day when people actually used to call each other, like you and your girlfriend would sit on the phone for fucking hours sometimes, right?
yeah,
And I don't like
yeah,
using the cell phone for that. If you're going to be talking to your
mm,
friend, you don't want to be using your cell phone. You want a landline. Or
yeah,
plug in like back in the day too, when the first cell phone first came out. I found this device that looked like an old time phone, but you plugged it
yeah.
into your cell phone, and so it was like a receiver on the old phone. I plugged it into my cell phone, so I was sitting like I used to with the old phone, and I
Always
didn't
like being back in the 80s.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But they got rid of that. I should go and check and see if they still have that, because I'd rather have holding that up to my ear when I'm talking on the phone than to actually use the phone. And if I do have to use it, I'll just use the speaker. There's no way I'm putting that thing
Yeah.
up against my head.
No, never do that, guys. Do not
No.
use the phone up to your head.
Yeah.
Always, always use the speaker.
Mm-hmm.
The skin on your hands will absorb the radiation, but it's a much tougher skin. It's replaced more often. So do not put the things up to your head ever, ever.
Just
I get
speaking of that, we should almost have some Faraday gloves on, so that we can
yeah, I
roll
thought
on
of
our
that too.
phone without absorbing anything. Now that you said
What
that.
I do is I actually use the pouch I bought for it.
Okay.
I hold the phone
Yeah, yeah.
in the pouch
Okay.
in my hand.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah,
Mm,
you can also like I've got fabric,
yeah.
Faraday fabric. You can buy. It can be expensive or cheap, from like $30 to $50 a yard, down to 15.
Well, if you could get
Uh,
something that's on sale or something like that, and then you got a sewing machine, I'm like,
yeah.
shit, you got a little business going. I'm telling you guys.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
this is the kind of stuff that people are buying. These will be great gifts to give. People might
Yeah.
not think of it, but getting as a gift, they might just use it. And with I was just watching, I think it was Canadian Prepper yesterday. He had a guest on, and the show was about EMP. And it's
Yeah.
after listening to that, and I always knew that, even for me, like speaking of the damn phone, right? Oh, I think it's Amazon. Hang on a second here.
Sure.
Hello? All right, come on down. It's my mushroom coffee's on its way.
Nice. My wife just went and picked me up some turkey tail mushroom
That's what's in here
tea.
too, but this one's got sea moss. So this will be
Oh
my
yeah.
first time tasting that. But if I can have my coffee, my mushrooms, and sea moss all in one drink,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I use chicory, cocoa, and my mushroom mix. Yeah, and the mushrooms.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
Mushrooms give it such like a smoky flavor.
I don't really
Like
notice it, to be honest, because I also
no?
put a scoop, especially the first one in the morning. I'll have a scoop of my collagen in there as well.
Oh yeah.
So I think altogether, I don't taste any mushrooms. I don't taste any of that. To me, it's just like a cup of coffee. So, but it's got all these
Yeah.
nutrients in it. The one I'm getting today with the sea moss, apparently that's like 90 minerals or something like that, like a
Mm.
lot. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try that. Hopefully, it doesn't taste weird.
Yeah, the flavor of turkey tail to me is like oolong. So kind of that smoky kind of flavor.
Okay. Well, it's
Yeah.
got turkey tail in there, so I'll see.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
It's
interesting.
very subtle.
Yeah, I think the coffee kind of overpowers it because it does have a little bit of coffee. It's got a little bit of
Yeah,
in there, right?
I do a very light coffee compared to most people.
Yeah.
Like about a half
Oh, okay.
half what most people put. So
I like mine strong, so I'll have like a heaping full teaspoon of this stuff. So it's a strong cup of coffee. I'll probably doing double scoops, and I think
yeah,
it
there's
said 45 grams of caffeine in one, so it's 90
oh
grams.
wow.
So then I would be getting roughly about 90 grams maybe of caffeine. I don't know how much that is compared to the regular cup of coffee. Is that about the same, or
I don't know.
I have no idea. But I don't
Um,
feel jittery at all, even if I have two. So no, it definitely doesn't have the same amount or the
Yeah.
same kind of caffeine. I don't know, as coffee does, because I can feel it with 2 cups of coffee for sure.
Major energy centers. So is that good for tap therapy, 7? There's a major energy center at the center of
The
the
palm.
palm.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of
I'll
things
pass.
kind of
We'll see
cross
what he
there, right?
says. Yeah.
A lot of lines and stuff, and
Well,
yeah,
they
I
tell you
know.
to tap your wrists, right? That's one of the
Yeah.
therapies for emotional states. It's
Mm-hmm.
tapping the wrists. I've tried it a couple of times. I didn't notice too much.
Scotty boy, black. I'm assuming.
What's that?
Scotty, I like my coffee like I like my women. Usually, when you say
Oh,
that,
okay.
it's because black. You like some
What
black.
does he like them creamy?
Or maybe
I
you
don't
like
know.
some creamy. I don't know, but I've never heard that one. But usually it's black. But strong and black. See, I told you. Strong and black. There you go.
Yeah, I've got tea bags for oolong too. That's pretty cool.
Mm.
I don't use them that often. They're very strong. I have to decide to drink a lot of it because it's so strong.
Mm.
Everything I drink is watery.
Right.
Strong and black. Okay. Gotcha, Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah, mushrooms are becoming really popular. I think they're going to be um, mushrooms are going to be one of the next great waves of health for people. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
because people are really starting to use them a lot, so we're going to get a lot of feedback from that.
They seem to be popular.
And-
Like I personally actually don't like mushrooms. I've never eaten mushrooms. I can't stand it. So this is a great way for me to get some in my diet without actually eating mushrooms, I guess.
Yeah, you can even make magic mushroom tea.
Well, I do have
Yeah.
some of that. I do have some of
Mhm.
that. And I don't drink that for pleasure though. That is, it's not because it tastes good,
Yeah.
So I'll do that once in a while, but yeah.
Yeah, Kroger's has a blend, 7 says. What is it? I wonder what it has in it.
Oh, cool.
Then there's that, what is it? Mud coffee, they call
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
a mushroom blend as well.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of different brands, a lot of different. Yeah, everybody seems to be going on that kick. For me, the
Yeah.
coffee was just upsetting my stomach. I was getting a lot of heartburn and stuff. So it was, a matter of 1 cup of coffee in the morning. I think I can go without, But then I'm like, well,
Yeah, I
let's do
used
it.
to be a coffee junkie. I was like 12 cups a day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's so bad for the
Yeah.
stomach. Yeah.
And I started getting stomach problems, heartburn, and all that.
Mm,
So I've moved away from coffee. Right now, I drink about a half a cup a day.
right. Yeah, I
Just to get a little bit of coffee,
right.
because it is good for you.
Right. So I
Like, there
figured
are
the
health
mushroom
benefits.
coffee, I kind of get both there because there is a little bit of regular coffee in there as well as the mushroom and whatever else you got in there. So it's kind of like
Mhm.
a little bit of everything in
Yeah,
there, And it
yeah. I
doesn't
get
taste
some
good,
cocoa in there too, right? Cocoa's good for
not in the one that I have, but
for
there
your
is other,
cells. Yeah.
yeah, there's other kinds. I have some other ones too that are the cocoa ones. I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah.
think of the brand now. I can't remember it, but yeah, they had so I have some of that too. I don't drink that as often though, but the coffee one, I definitely like substituted the regular coffee with this,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lion's mane mushrooms. I don't know if my wife's on mushroom coffee too, or mushroom tea. I forget what kind she's taking. It might be one of them. Coffee gets you going? Yeah. I don't really find that myself. All it does really, if I drink too much, is just give me the jitters.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna see.
Oh, they've messed up the eggs now. They're putting additive in it. Makes people go blind. Yeah. About a year ago, there was a lot of problems that or egg producers were having with the feed. The chickens were refusing to eat it. It was totally different. I heard one report, a lady, her chickens wouldn't eat the feed, so she thought, well, okay, maybe if I put it in some water and it softens up, sometimes they like that better, right? And it gets them used to a different feed. So she dumps it in some water and waits and waits and waits. This feed would not soak up any water. I don't know what they put into it, but she had to switch to a different feed from that one. It was a major producer, and you could be there. There is something to that there, Emmett. I don't know about haven't heard anything about it doing anything to your eyes, but I have heard of the feed being messed up. So they've done something to the feed that they're giving the chickens. So keep looking into that for sure. I get my eggs from a farmer, so that does free range chicken scraps. My eggs get disco lights and Mozart. So yeah, you saw that, Scotty boy, trace back to the feed. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I just posted the ingredients in the thing that I just got today.
Yeah. L-theanine, that's becoming popular too now.
Yeah. I believe I just started taking that too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does it help? Are you feeling anything from it?
Well,
Or?
it was for skin. I think I started taking it. I can't remember
Yeah.
now. And I started taking the Q10. Was there another one too? I can't remember now. I'm also so many different supplements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My kitchen table is just a supplement.
I know. I got one whole corner of my kitchen is just supplements.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It's like a full-time job, just trying to space them out. And speaking of, I should actually have some of those right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I do mine with food.
Yeah, I just had a piece of toast. I'm like, you know what? I should probably
Yeah.
some of those.
Time to stuff something in there and make sure it doesn't give you heartburn.
Yeah. So I'll just mute myself for a second and then join back after.
So there was a movie with Richard Thomas about a farmer. Family was getting sick, and it ended up being antifreeze in the cattle feed. Wow. And they drank the milk. Ah, that's horrible. Yeah, there's a big push to go to local and small growers. I think it's a great idea myself. If I could grow my own eggs, I would do that too. Grow some hens. I don't have the area to do crops, but and I like that my eggs get disco lights and Mozart music. I know they're very happy. They come in a range of colors, but I don't care. I don't care about the color of an egg. Some of them have a little bit of a greenish tinge sometimes. Apparently that's copper or iron, copper in it, which is good. It was a sad movie, yeah. Sounds sad. Wheat gas and kale are pure evil. I don't know. Yeah, that's good to know, BA. Yeah. Hi, Desert Rose. Good to see you. So again, anyone interested in that, one of these headsets, copper headsets, contact me at my email. I'll put it in the description of the video down below later, if I can figure that out. And we can set something up. You watched the Elf movie, laughed my ass off. I haven't watched really Christmas movies in a long time. Some of the oldies I'll catch a bit of. So again, I love reading this. Put it on, and within a few minutes, my headache was gone away. My headache went away. Yeah. She had a 3-day headache that was gone in minutes. Like, that's, for me, that's results. That's the way healing should be done. You know, not a lifetime of pills or whatever. Health was okay. Yeah, right there. Put it on, and my headache was gone away. Yeah, new schools are usually built on the landfills. That's a horror story right there. Yeah, she had the headset and the batteries, but they came separately because I can't send the batteries to the U.S. This is an interesting thing, I thought. I can't send batteries to the U.S. I don't know why. I don't know if I can send them in Canada either. I probably can. But for some reason, I'm unable to send batteries across the U.S. So all you'll be receiving is some tape and a headset. So, and I'll give you instructions on how to get these batteries, or give you the size of batteries to get. Oops, wrong way.
I think it's illegal to send batteries.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me. They asked me what's in it. I told them. They said, you can't send that. I said,
Yeah.
oh, all right.
Hazardous material or something. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I was making a bomb. That's what I thought.
Well,
I think you're making a bomb.
I guess
Right?
there's been people before us that have kind of screwed it up for the rest of us, you know.
Yeah,
Fortunately.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, that's a great
Landfill
idea, though,
schools.
with that headset there. That looks awesome.
Yeah, it seems to work very well. I've been using grounding devices for about a year now, or more, and for all the elements of EMF radiation. Even like there was a young guy at work. He was having tooth pains, and his glands were all swollen.
Mm.
And I told him to try my device. It was just and he said, "No, I don't want it." And I'm like, "Come on, man. What do you got to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just 30 seconds of your life. If it doesn't work, you can roll your eyes at me again, right?" Puts his finger on the battery, and within seconds, like it was 5 seconds, he goes, "Okay, there's something happening here." So he held on to it for a while, and his toothache was pretty much gone within a few seconds.
Hmm.
And he said, "Yeah, that's fine, but I can't work like this." Well, I wear 2 of these waist devices that I've made.
Could you
all the
put him
time.
like inside a baseball cap so that you wouldn't even see it?
Oh yeah, this fits right under a cap or a
Yeah,
tooth.
here you go. Yeah.
Yeah, this one here, this is what I wear on my waist. You just hook it over your pants, and I gave him one of those. So he wore that for the day.
Mm-hmm.
His toothache was completely gone,
Wow.
and he had swollen glands in his neck, and they completely disappeared. The swelling went down, and it was gone. So
That's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah. I've always wondered,
they're
sometimes my swell up too, and I'm like, well, what's going on? You know, doing a check over, and I don't see any reasons why it should be, but that might be why, you know, things like that. You don't even think of that.
yeah.
External.
I question all disease right now.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It makes me question
Yeah.
every disease. And if you, like I was saying earlier, if you look on PubMed, which is the public medical repository for the US,
Mm-hmm.
you can find pretty much every disease can be caused by EMF radiation.
Wow. Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe it. Because, you know, when you go back
it's
into history and look at, You know, when the radio frequency came out, that's when, you know, we had the other flu there. And it
Hmm.
just seems to be a
Oh,
pattern, you know.
yeah, there was Hong Kong flu that came out when FM radio came out,
Hmm.
and my wife got that. Uh, yeah, so it really it seems to be the introduction of all these new
Yeah.
technologies.
And so
You
this
know,
is, you know, so I'm wondering now with what happened here the last 3 years, did they lock us down maybe because they were putting in something new? Were we getting sick because there was something new in our environment? I know the letter 5 and, you know, the other number there,
yep,
you know, that was introduced around that time.
yeah. Interestingly enough, there were two cities that were
Hmm.
completely wired with 5G
Hmm.
at the time.
Yeah.
There was one in Italy where they had a huge
Yes.
problem, and one in Wuhan, China.
Right. Remember
Mm.
the beginning footage of it when they were showing footage from
Hmm.
China and people were like just falling over?
Yeah, isn't that curious?
I
Just
wonder what that was all about.
dropping in the
I
streets.
know, like
I've
what?
I've heard rumors of there's a 60 gigahertz can knock the oxygen off the iron in people's blood.
So they literally got fried with the letter 5 and,
Yeah,
you know,
suffocated right in the street.
wow. So they must have, by seeing that, then they must have like, oh, shit, we better not do that here. We better scale it down a little bit,
Yeah, I
right?
think they
Because
pulled
we
it
didn't do
back a
that.
bit.
We didn't have any of that here,
No, and I think that might have been a practice for targeting as well,
right? Well, they just
because
tried it out
they
on their
hit one.
citizens. They don't give
Yeah.
a F, you know, like for all of us
Yep.
to see. I mean, that's, you know, like, wow. Yeah. If in fact that was real, you know, that's, you got to wonder, right?
Yeah.
Or was it a show?
I think it was myself.
Yeah. They just turned on the flicker and just basically fried these people.
Well, see now there's the thing, Desert Rose. They don't live and travel where we do, right?
Hmm.
I believe it was Barack Obama was able to get rid of a cell tower being put up near one of his properties.
Of course.
Yeah. So I think they live by different rules and under different circumstances. I'm sure that they're well aware of what's going on. If I were one of them, I would have my house outfitted as a Faraday cage. That wouldn't cost much for people who can print money.
And a blue roof up
And
there, and
yeah,
yeah,
get yourself a blue roof,
that's right. And a
and
bunker, and
you know,
yeah,
you have the ability to make sure that cell towers aren't put up in your area.
yeah, yeah,
No, I don't think that they really live under the same condition.
no, they know where to move, what land to
Mhm.
buy, right? Like look at Oprah, right? Buying up
They
all Hawaiian land.
apparently in the U.S. somewhere there's an entire city where they have bought up everything.
Hmm.
So it's just for them. There are no cell towers,
Right.
not any real close to there.
No, they probably got all the Tesla stuff going on in there.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the
Well, there are.
speculation
Yeah.
is like, up the Antarctic and up in that area where we're not allowed to go. It makes you wonder, what do they got going on up there that is so secretive that we're not
Apparently,
allowed
they
to?
have some deep antennas into the earth that they can pump huge amounts of electricity into.
Well, I think we have a lot more land than we think we do here on Earth, and that there's a
Could
lot
be.
more going on up there. You know?
Mhm. Could be.
I think
There's a
so.
lot going on down here too.
No,
Yeah,
that's
we
what I
got
mean. The Earth, like down here on the Earth, there's
mhm.
more land and there's stuff going on there that they don't want us to see. And that makes you wonder who's living there. Could it be some of these
Well,
ancient?
we'll have to win. We got to win this first battle and take back the control of the planet
Yeah, I
first,
know,
and the
right?
information,
Yeah,
right?
Mhm.
Then you can get to that.
yeah.
But
It sounds
yeah,
like, this whole EMP thing, and we're going back to that. That is what we need to like be prepared for. And apparently our military is not ready for it. They haven't prepared for it. There's nothing in place. If it does happen, we're all on our own.
Electrical grid's not ready for it at all.
No, it's going to take at least 2 years, if not more. 2
That's
years.
their claim, yeah.
If everything goes as planned, like if all, because I'm assuming that other countries would be okay, so that we would be able to, they should be able to like ship us things and, things like that. So if everything goes as planned and smoothly and all this other stuff, depending on what else is going on in the world, but if it is okay, 2 years to get the grid back up, right? So, and because we are so, nobody knows how to take care of themselves, right? So, yeah, most of us.
Imagine how controllable we'll be then, right?
Well, it's going to be mayhem, right? It's going to be, and people like they don't have the basic survival skills anymore. Like most people don't know how to make a fire. They don't know how to make a shelter. They don't know how to do any of that shit, And so, yeah, it's, think of it like this, like, so we'll have everything. So you should be able to shelter in place, so think of it like we're going to be going camping for a while. What do we need to go on a 2-year-long camping trip? Basically, we're not going to be able to get anything from the store, so we're going to have all of the kind of supplies that grandma used to have. Just think of how did grandma prepare for winter? That's basically how we're going to prepare for the next 2 years, right? So you're going to need to get some, like I even thought of a little washboard. How am I going to do my laundry? I need a little washboard. So I got a little basin thing that fits into my sink that I could use to just pour water into, not to have the water coming, but, like just to, and a little bit of the things that you don't think of, like that little bar soap, the sunlight bar, right? That's how you wash clothes back in the days. You don't, you just put it on the spot and there you go, and and just things like that. Like, and you can A, use it camping now, and B, you are ready to live without electricity. Get yourself a little clothesline. Yeah. You got to go back to thinking, okay, well, you can do this, right? You just need certain things. That's all.
Looks like Scotty Boy needs a still and some grain.
Yeah.
Lots of alcohol, lots of booze.
Hey, that's going to be needed. You could be.
That would be a good skill to have there, Scotty Boy.
Yes,
if you
because
learn
people
how to
are
still your
going
own
to
booze.
trade you food for that, Scotty, or fuel or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll be going back to the bartering thing. So for those who have, prepped and gotten tradables, because that's one of those tradables, your cigarettes, right? Booze, weed, all of that kind of stuff is going to be tradable for sure. Even your socks and underwear, like I stocked up on a few packs of just those regular white tube socks. Because one day, and they're dirt cheap right now, one day those are going to be tradables, man. Tradables. A guy's going to want a pair of clean socks. So, and he's going to trade you something good for that. Yeah. So, or down to hair cutting kit, get yourself some scissors and a shaver and stuff like that. Like if you don't have that already, so that you can take care of, haircuts. Manually without, so you're nothing plugging in now though, right? So you're gonna have to think about that. And then if you do, once you start, getting up there, getting yourself a little generator, or what I got, because I'm in an apartment too, is one of these jackeries. You plug them in. So my jackery's always plugged in. So if the power goes out, and it goes out, once or twice a year, I would say, right? Then hey, I got enough juice in that thing now I can plug in my phone. If it's cold in the winter, I can plug in a little heater maybe, or a little light or something. You know what I mean? Just, and then I have solar panels. So in an emergency situation, I would be sitting upstairs with my solar panel for like 6 hours, soaking up juice to power that thing up. But then in the evening, I would have a little bit of power so that I could plug my phone in again. It ain't much, but you know what? In emergency situations, whether it's from just going a few hours without no power because of a windstorm, or natural disasters, whatever.
Just, having a solar panel to charge up people's
Yeah,
phones, that would be,
yeah, yeah. You need that, and
that
then
would
you
be
can also bring that
worthwhile. That
stuff
would be
camping too.
tradable too.
Yeah, it's easy, and it's something you can do in an apartment. Yeah, we're gonna have to go up to wherever it's sunny. Hopefully, if it's sunny,
Yeah.
that's another problem. If there's no sun, which on the wet coast here is quite a bit of the time. So,
Hmm.
but then you have other fuels though. Then you want to have some propane, get yourself a camping stove if you don't have already. You basically
Yeah.
get all the camping gear, all the things that
Yeah.
you would need if you went camping, because that's basically what you're going to be doing in your place for about 2 years. What do you need? Think of it that way,
Yeah.
and yeah, never mind the food. I mean, yeah, it's great to have, food, but obviously, there's only so much room in an apartment, so tradables though. So, some food obviously, then some tradables so that you can trade for food.
Yeah.
Um, I live in
Gonna have
Canada,
about
so
2 years worth of food is a good
yeah.
idea to
Well,
have.
there you go. Just there you go. That's 2 years right
You
there, right? I think that's about the longest we're gonna have to worry about it. I mean, I would certainly think that people would come to our aid, and be, giving us supplies
know.
too, but I wouldn't rely
No,
on it.
no, I doubt it. I doubt it. Nobody cares about
Well,
us.
you never know. I would think that, I would like to think so, right? I mean, hopefully,
Maybe we might get some help from some of the European
well, that's
countries,
what I'm
but
thinking,
pretty
right?
much
Yeah,
most
they would
others
help us
wouldn't.
out, right? Because
Most
didn't we
most
help
others
them
would
during
just
the
let
war
us
too?
die.
So, you know what I mean? So,
We helped everybody. We always help everybody
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Nobody is going to return that favor. You know.
Well,
So
yeah. Well, I
no,
would like that. I would like to think that there will be some, but I wouldn't
I
rely
hope.
on it.
I hope so.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
rely on it though. So get the 2 years worth of
No.
food. If you need medications, get so that you have lots on hand, just in case,
Thank you,
and
officer.
and even, yeah, silly
Yeah.
things like antibiotic cream. You have no idea how much that's going to mean if in a situation like where when we don't have the sanitation, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, things like that. Those, they're easy to get a hold of now. It doesn't cost that much, and it could, yeah, be life or death at some point. You know, so, and it's not
You
just
think
EMP
during?
either. There's solar flares. There's a lot of things that could be
Yeah.
happening to the grid. So
Hmm. Yeah. Don't forget to have some way to heat yourself, keep yourself warm.
yes.
You know. The ability to set up a room where you can sleep and have warmth in that room.
Yeah, so again, think of it as going camping, because if it is in the winter, you are going to want to set up a pop-up tent in your living room or somewhere where
Yep.
and then that's where you're going to heat that, for when you're sleeping, right? So
Yep.
I've thought of that too. So you are thinking of, what do I need to go camping, even though you're camping inside your own house. And if it is too
Or you have
hot, then maybe
if you
you're
have a
camping
teeny tiny room.
yeah.
If you have a tiny room that you can heat easily, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably with no windows, because that'll bleed a lot of cold in. So, yeah,
Right.
setting up a tent.
But
So
the
you're trying
tent, I
to
think, is a good idea.
decrease the amount of area you have to heat.
Yeah,
It's,
and I got a tiny, teeny little heater that, I was thinking,
yeah,
I could plug it into the Jackery. Now
yeah.
if you
When you get a
have,
couple of people in a 4-man tent, that'll warm up pretty quickly
yeah, yeah,
just from your breath.
mm-hmm,
Hmm.
yeah.
It'll get above freezing for sure. So,
Now I just got a fairly small Jackery, but if you guys got the money, you got the room, I would get like the big things that you could power up like your whole house with these things.
yeah,
And if you have a house, you can put solar up top and everything. Like, yeah, start thinking about these things. It's just because it's the most logical thing, and it's frankly the
hmm,
nicest thing that I guess they could do to us, rather than just bombing the crap out of us, right? Because this way, all the resources are here, all the buildings are still here.
yeah,
Most of us will be gone though in 2 years, unfortunately, but then
yeah.
they can just come in and take over, and they didn't kill anybody, I guess you could say, although they did, because they knew that but just, I don't know, more clear conscious, and it just makes sense. Like, why would you sort, with nukes and stuff. That just doesn't make sense.
No, it
No,
doesn't. No,
no. So,
that's really not how they're going to do it. They may use that
and
in a small scale, but not large scale. I
and
don't think
also
that's not
because
really what they're doing.
Schwab, right? He's over and over again with this, cyber attack, right? So,
Yeah, yeah,
right. So
yeah,
that's another clue that that's what they're going to do, right? So they're telling
yeah.
us they're going to do it. He says they can't
They
actually
project.
come out and say it, but they are. Okay, you got to listen. We got to listen. They are telling
Yeah,
us they're going to do it. Are you ready? Because we can't come back later and say they didn't say anything. Yeah, they did. We just weren't listening. We weren't paying attention. Not taking it seriously enough, right? But he did tell us that that's what they're going to do. And speaking, when I saw the Canadian Preppers thing yesterday, go and check that out. He was from the higher up military, and he's confirming that he's one that's telling us, okay, yeah, this is most likely what's going to be happening. And no, we're not ready. Military's not ready. The government hasn't put any money into helping us at all. There's no help at all coming if and when that happens. Except the military themselves, they're ready. Actually, you know what? No, I don't think they are. No, that's right. They are going to starve just as quickly as we are, because the military only has about 3 days worth of food there. They don't have those
yeah,
guys aren't going to get either. So the trucks aren't moving. They're not coming in. Our military is essentially going to starve to death just like we are, and fend for themselves. So they're not going to defend you. They're going to be helping themselves and their family. And
yeah.
they're not
See, a
going to be
couple of years
ready.
ago, Justin said that there were going to be food shortages. So why
Yeah.
aren't we building greenhouses?
Right. Yeah, no, they're not doing anything, right? That's the thing. Again,
Yeah,
they're telling us though.
nothing.
They are telling
Yeah,
us this is what's
they told
coming,
us.
this is what's happening, but nobody's paying attention, right? So so the military is not going to be ready to defend the country. Military guys now, they're just guys, okay? Regular guys. They're
Yeah,
not going to be worried about the country. They're not going to be worried about any of that. They're going to be worried about themselves, their family, and they're not going to be rescuing anybody. They're not going to be, doing any, So yeah, essentially, society is basically collapsing. I hope that if people are ready, maybe it won't. If most people are prepared for it, then hey, no big deal. We're just going camping for a while. That's all.
hmm yep. If you're prepared.
If you're prepared.
And the thing is too, there is the extra problem of roaming gangs of people looking for food. Now, that's going to be a
So
problem as
security
well. Hi,
is
Big Justin.
where, and this is why Trudeau has been so adamant about getting rid of our guns, right? Prepping for this, because they don't want us, being,
Yep.
it'll go a lot quicker. Let's put it that way. If we don't have
Yeah, it's
guns,
illegal to use a gun for personal protection in Canada.
yeah, we're not allowed to do that, So
No.
that is going to be a problem. And the only people that do have them are criminals, right? They have
Yep.
them, and hopefully some smart people are, hunting, and they know how to hunt and all these. Hopefully people have these skills, because those are the people that are going to make it, right? If you don't, then, so, and most Canadians, we're not stocked like the Americans are. So
No.
that's going to be a real problem, unfortunately. And so even though you've been
Mhm.
prepping, it doesn't matter. Somebody's going to come and take it anyways,
They could, yeah.
So this is
Yeah,
where
you have
community comes in handy. This is where, and this is where I'm lacking too, because nobody knows. I'm in an apartment building here. Nobody knows each other here. Nobody,
Mhm.
which is a real shame, because we are going to need each other, at one point.
Well, there are non-lethal methods of defense that can be employed. Get yourself a super soaker.
You know what I have?
don't
Because
like
I'm a
bleach.
I'm a single person living on the first floor, right next door to a bunch of crack addicts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. So
Move?
Oh, I'm hoping soon. But actually, to be
Yeah.
honest, I'm facing the forest, and there's not supposed to have any access down here, so it's not very often that there is people down here. So I don't see any of that. If I was on the other side of
That's
the
good.
building, I would be seeing them tweaking, all day, 24 hours a day. But anyways, so what I have is wasp and hornet spray. One
Yeah.
next to me, right next to the bed, right next to the chair that I sit at, in the living room.
I think we can have bear spray.
I'm not sure, but yeah, well, the hornet sprays, they're fairly cheap. I think you can get a 2-pack or whatever at Costco for
Yeah.
pretty cheap, and it sprays out in like a single spray. It's not like it sprays
Yeah.
all over the place. Like sometimes bear sprays and all these other things have a wide spray, and you're going to end up getting in on yourself as well. So with the wasp and hornet, it's just a stream that comes out. And so you can point it to right their face. Like, so if some dude's fucking coming through your window,
Okay.
you can fucking spray him from across the room. You know what I mean? Right in the fucking face.
That
And I can tell you, he's not coming in.
stuff has an effect on people.
Oh, well, it kills wasps and whatever. So it's going to definitely do a number on your nose, mouth, and eyes, right?
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's not going to be too happy. And then of course, you're going to have a baseball bat right next to you too.
Mm,
So just in case, right? But yeah, luckily I haven't had to use it yet, but yeah, so those are little tricks as a single person or anybody really,
yeah.
especially here in Canada, because we don't have all the firearms that you guys have. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I think a super soaker with some. You can actually make your own hot pepper spray.
Yes, I saw a recipe for that not long ago. So
Yeah.
somebody else was thinking of that too. That's true. That
Yeah.
might be a better idea because that way, well, hopefully it's probably cheaper, and B, nobody will know you have it because I don't even. I wouldn't be surprised if the hunting shops and whatnot keep track of stuff. You know what I mean? They know that you have. I don't know. I'm a little
Yeah.
paranoid on it. Yeah.
No, they don't have it. I think you can just buy it. I don't know, but yeah, you can just buy peppers for sure. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Make up your own thing, and yeah, that will definitely do the same thing because the super soaker it's got a pretty. But I mean, what are the odds of you having though a super soaker there ready at all times?
I don't know. Pretty good if you get.
I guess if you make that a point to have it there, and it doesn't. Hopefully, nobody else will touch it. Your grandson comes over. Hey, what's this? Shh.
Well, you keep that one in a
Yeah.
place that's accessible, but
Yeah.
not to children.
Right. Yeah. Actually, that's speaking of. My grandson's coming over next Saturday. I better get rid of those. He
Yeah.
doesn't find them.
Another good thing,
Oh my
defense
God.
mechanism is marbles. Marbles or beads.
Uh-huh.
If you throw those on the ground.
Yeah. Will definitely be
In front
a little deter.
Yeah.
I mean, now all these things are just to give you a few minutes so you can get the heck out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Get some salt, pepper, sulfur, and some charcoal. Make some surprise for people who want to rob you. Oh, okay. And a shotgun or something? We're not allowed to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, Canada, yeah, and I don't know, just
Can't do it.
no.
Can't do it. Pink is pretty.
He made sure that he got those laws in before he's out of here, I guess. Yeah.
Mm.
It seems like the
Yeah.
Conservative Party's coming back.
Yeah.
I just signed a thing today, and so one of their policies, and this is how they're going to win, is they got a petition right now to sign to get Bonnie Henry, fired.
Oh yeah.
So of course they're
That'll
going to
work.
sign that, and so that's one of their things for their campaign.
If they actually do it, that's the problem. Our politicians just tell us
I think-
what we want to hear, and then they
Yeah.
do the exact opposite.
Well, I think if they do, that's going to be in their favor, right? So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's how they're going to win, because everybody's going to
Yeah.
start to hate on for her now. So,
Good.
yeah. Oh, I can't
Yeah,
stand that
globalism is
woman.
not popular. but stopping it is going to take a long time because they paid people off all the way down to mayors,
Right.
right? Like our mayor is totally sold out. She took money and agreed to have another double our population, basically. So right now they're building apartment buildings like crazy to put all these people in.
Yeah, that's the thing. Canada keeps taking in all these, people. Yeah, we have tons of homeless people here.
Yeah, we're supposed to be taking 500,000 from Palestine.
Like Vancouver's looking like, the States now. Like it's bad. It has been for a while.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
There's a lot of South Americans moving up here now. Many more than there used to be. So yeah, and Asians. There's a lot of new Asian people up here as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. But a lot of them are having troubles in Canada because we don't have the housing for them. So a lot of them are moving back, which is good, you know. So maybe the word will get out that it's not such a great place. And in the winter, living on the streets can be deadly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
are you going to risk death coming to Canada?
well, depending on how bad it is, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're pretty good, the government. They give them all kinds of free stuff, like,
Yeah, they got plenty of money. They get more money than Canadians.
it used to be like back when I immigrated, because I'm an immigrant myself. Now, the only reason I got in here is because my mom's here and and her whole family and everything. But back in the day, it was like you had to have a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Like they didn't, Canada didn't want you in here so that they can take care of you. Like, so what
Yeah.
the heck happened here, right? Now all of a sudden we're
Yeah.
taking in anybody and paying for these people. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what changed there?
Well,
Right? Yeah.
our government got greedy. Now they think they can, and
Yeah, but
now they've gone all
they're losing
They've
money
gone
by
all
doing
global.
this.
Yeah, they've gone all globalist on us. They don't care if the government loses money. They're making money on the slide under the table for all these deals and things they're doing to us.
Right. And yet
The behest
national
of
debt keeps going up.
anti-humanist, globalist, influences. So and that actually was being expressed at the rally. That wasn't a protest; it was a rally. We don't protest in Canada anymore.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was expressed there. Some of it, anyways, of the globalist agenda, Agenda 21. I know it's Agenda 30 now, but hey, if people look up Agenda 21 and get the idea of what's being done to us,
Right. Well, it started in 20, so in the sense it is Agenda 21. Because, it just keeps going until they hit, and then we got the next one, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, interesting time coming up for sure.
Yeah, let's see if the people wake up in time to do something, because our first primary problem is going to be food shortages. I don't know that places like Canada, the U.S. will ever have food go away. I think that's going to happen more in Africa.
Well, we're lucky we have a
places like
lot of
that.
resources here in Canada,
Yeah.
and so if we just stopped exporting it out and kept it for ourselves, we'll be fine here. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to
So-
hopefully get people to take care of that problem before that comes about, and all our other problems we can work out over time.
Yeah.
But food is going to be, that's a crisis situation where people start killing each other.
Yes.
So electricity not being there, not having gas, people can
Yeah.
kind
No,
of
it's
make,
the food shortage that's going to get you, because as soon as the power's off, the stores have to evacuate you. We're not allowed to have the mall open and whatever when there's no power. So as soon as that happens, the stores close, and then of course they'll get looted and whatever. So whatever's in the store is gone. So within 3 days, most people's pantries and the store and everything else is gone, right?
Yeah. I'm hoping Canadians don't like to riot and loot as much as other countries. So I'm hoping that some semblance of humanity overrides the desire to loot and rob.
Well, hopefully, yeah, we'll start getting together and doing up kitchens, soup kitchens, and that's how it's
Yeah,
going to be. We all get together and gather it up and ration it out.
yeah.
And
I think it could work. Hope it could work if people know it's coming. That's the key, is knowing it's coming.
exactly, Desert Roads got a good comment here about eating one meal a day, and that's funny because I'm kind of down to that too.
I am.
Most
Yeah,
days,
I do that.
Um,
Yeah,
and I've heard other people say the same thing. It's weird. So it's like we know it's coming. Collectively, we know it's coming, and some of us are starting to practice it already.
yeah,
Yeah, because that's where it's going to cut one meal a day. That's right. We may have to line up, but wouldn't it be
yeah.
nice if you had extra rice and extra all this stuff, right? Put away so
Yeah.
that.
And the government, when they put us in the lineups, what kind of food are they going to be giving
Oh,
us?
what do you think? It's going to be all that
Yeah,
GMO shit that they got already lined up.
yeah, exactly.
Plant this and plant that. There will be nothing real. And it was funny.
Bill Gates emergency food supplies
Yeah, it was
for
funny. I was
you.
listening to this podcast yesterday, and this is, I think he was a doctor. And anyways, I'm not going to go into detail, but anyway, he was like, they were vegan, but he was like, yeah, no, if they were going to eat meat, it would have to be the lab grown, it would have to be the lab grown because that's more ethical and whatever. I'm like, oh my God. So a lot of these younger people, educated people, think that this lab grown meat is actually, good for you.
Oh God, no!
Like
It's tumor
he
meat.
would choose that over an
It,
animal meat.
it's tumor meat. It's a tumor.
So,
It's a tumor that they gathered from some lady back in the 70s.
oh, I don't even want to think about that. But yeah, even if it wasn't cancerous, even if it wasn't just whatever
That's
they're doing,
disgusting.
but just to see that these people are actually preferring it, and this is how they're thinking. We don't have a
It's gonna
hope in hell here.
it's
Like,
gonna make them sick. It's gonna make them sick. They're eating tumors.
yeah. So I can only
Yeah,
imagine what we would be getting at the soup kitchen. Going back to that, but then so that's the thing. Like
probably tumor and fetus.
it's going to be stuff that, yeah. I mean, where are they getting the food? Yeah, who knows, right? But I mean, it's either that or we die, right? Unless we have stuff stashed away. But then the problem is with the whole social system is people will start to notice that, hey, why is it that they're not at the soup kitchen, right? And they're looking fine. They're not as whiny as we are. Why is that, right? They'll know we got stuff and they'll come for it. So you have to kind of keep up appearances, unfortunately, when it comes down to it. Even if you have,
Mhm.
it just means that you might have an extra scoop of rice later that the rest of them don't.
Yeah.
But you still got to go down there and keep up appearance and act like you're starving. You got a certain look on your face. You know what I mean? Like you can
Mhm.
tell. Like, so there's all of that too. Like there's so much that you can get into. Like how you.
You can look it up, Scotty boy. They talked about it on several channels, but there was a lady back in the 70s who they managed to get an aggressive cancer into, and her entire body developed tumors in a 2-week period. So it was the most aggressive tumor causing cells induced by toxins that they had ever found. So they took those cells, put them in a dish, and started replicating them. Now there are huge vats of these cells in laboratories all over the world. It's very gross. It shouldn't be eaten as food. Yeah, and that's really about it. I don't remember her name, but yeah, pretty gross. And
Yeah.
there's another cell line from a young man that they use as well, a young boy. So Not that, the secretion. Oh, for the Aries. Well, you're an Aries, so the secretion happens when the moon is in your sun sign. You can get an app called AstroSeek, or what is it called? Moon Tracks. Yeah, Moon Tracks or AstroSeek. Will tell you when the moon is in your sun sign. That's when your secretion is happening from your pineal gland. It's a 28-day period. Yeah, that has to do with the third eye. The 33 days of the crucifixion, because the oil rests in the optic thalamus for 3 days, then it gets released to the pineal. And then there's what they call milk and honey. There's fluids that come out that heal the body. Hope that answers that for you, Scotty. All right. Papers and boxes. We've been targeted for death since birth. Yes, every one of us. The idea is to have us live to be about 45, 55, and then kick the bucket. I think that's why they're trying all the genetic manipulation now. The poisonings don't seem to have worked as well as I think they hoped. So, yeah. Fasting will help. Yep. Absolutely, Scotty. Well, I think it's about dinner time for me. Where do you live, Nina? Are you out in BC? You're out in BC, yeah. What time is it there? People are dropping like flies. Yeah, William Shatner says the world's going to be depopulated by 2030, right? What's up with that? Keep selling out. Who's that? On borrowed everything. Yeah.
Sorry, I have to step out for a second.
No problem. That's all right.
Did you ask where I was living?
Yeah, you're in BC,
BC,
right?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The wet coast.
The wet coast, yeah.
Those
Always some madman who wants to rule the world, yeah. Finish your meal for today? Nice. Some gray sole. I've got a bunch of lamb to eat, so lamb and veggies for me tonight. I was just saying I got to pop out. Dinner's about now, so.
right.
All
Yeah.
right, guys, that's all we've got for today. Much love to you all.
All right. Hopefully, I'll
Thanks
see you
for
tomorrow
popping
on my
up,
channel.
Nina. Yeah. What did you put your channel in the link in the chat
Let's
there?
see. Yeah, I can probably put a link in there. Yeah, I got Robert V and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Horns of the Goddess, episode 12.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Give you a second to pop that in. Yep, class tonight at 11. We'll see you there. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.